Hi Fit Family, Coach Kirsten here. I hope you're awesome. Today I've got rice crackers in my hands and I'm going to help to give you a little bit more of a clue when it comes to reading nutrition labels. And so when you do your groceries, you'll have a better idea about what to look for when you're making decisions between different brands. So this is a common item that a lot of people will have when they're having cheese bickies, snacks, feeding the kids, or even if you're trying to lose weight. As a female, I know females get right into their low fat or no fat rice crackers thinking there's hardly any calories or there's no fat in it, so these are fine, I can actually eat them. Let me start by saying that they come from a packet. So firstly, they're a processed food, and if you want your body to function really, really well, you need to eat stuff that perishes, right? So if it comes from a tree, out of the ground, that type of thing, if it's going to go off, if it's going to perish, it's good for you. It's nutritious and your body was designed to eat it. If it comes from a packet, not so much. So it's probably unrealistic of me to tell you to never ever eat anything from a packet. I know that we're really busy, especially if you've got kids, you just need something quick. So what I want to do is be realistic and teach you, when you do eat that packaged food, which is hopefully not too much, that you can make a really good educated choice between brands about which would be a better choice and why. So we're going to take these two. Now, it's not so much that I'm picking on these particular brands, it's more so I'm just using them as an example because there's a difference between the two. So we've got peckish rice crackers, and that's the plain variety, and then we've got succotar, the plain variety as well. And you would think, oh, okay, not so bad, both gluten-free. This one, baked not fried, oh, that must be a better choice. Rice bran oil, right? So maybe that's a better oil. It's palm oil free, so if you want to be conscious of the environment, great. And it's gluten-free, cool, that looks right. And they're nice and light and crispy. The succotar, also plain, also gluten-free, says no artificial colors and flavors. So if we turn it around, what I want you to learn to do is read the ingredients panel. And where that is on every food item, every packaged item, there'll be a panel here that says ingredients from start to finish. You've also got your nutrition information, which tells you, I know it's a little bit blurry, but just so you know where it is, calories, carbohydrates, protein, fat, saturated fat, sugar, etc. So all packaged food should have this. And what I want to show you is what to look for. So the ingredients on these ones, which you would probably think palm oil free, baked not fried, great, this sounds fantastic. Well, actually it has rice flour, rice bran oil, maltodextrin, which is a fancy name for a form of sugar, salt, sugar, so more sugar, soy sauce powder, in brackets, the soy sauce powder is actually made from maltodextrin, again, salt, soybean oil. Then we have flavor enhancers 627631. We've got an antioxidant 307, and we've got anti-caking agent 341. So there's a whole bunch of numbers on here that you also don't recognize. So far to me, there's a few red flags and I'm thinking, oh, that's not a very good product to choose. I want to see less ingredients and something that's a little purer, even though it comes from a package. So if we compare that to the succotar, what we have here is literally rice, 97%, vegetable oil and salt. Yes, it has vegetable oil. It's not telling us exactly how much, but there is literally 3 ingredients and 97% of what's in the pack is actually rice. So that's a good sign. It's a little bit more natural potentially because I don't see 10 or 11 or 12 ingredients on there. Now, when it comes to the nutrition information, you need to be really careful of serving sizes. This is where we get tripped up because we think, okay, it's either fat-free or it's low-fat, it's gluten-free. They seem really light when you eat them. I'm gonna have that instead of bread because bread's got lots of carbs and it's really heavy. But chances of you eating only 4 or 5 of these crackers is probably zilch. Chances of you sitting down and starting and then eating a row and eating 2 rows, and before you know it, you've smashed through half to 3/4 of a packet. That's going to get you into trouble when you're trying to lose weight and watch your waistline. So a serving size is what you want to look for. On your nutrition information, in this little box, at the top, there will always be servings per package. So how many servings in a package and how many grams that serving size is. So on these ones, the serving size is actually 20 grams. So we've got 5 servings in this one packet. Now there's 4 rows in here. So you're actually not even allowed to have 1 row as a serving size. if you munch through most of the packet, here's how many carbs and how many calories you're going to have. So if you were to eat that whole packet, you're going to end up with about nearly 90 grams of carbohydrates in one packet. And here you were eating this thinking it's got less carbs and it's less heavy and probably better for me than bread. It's actually not. A sandwich will have about 35 grams of carbohydrates. So you're actually better off eating some bread, potentially, than munching through most of this packet. Now, when you then add up the fats, not so bad here, but the carbs and the calories is really where it's at. So you're going to end up with the equivalent of a whole meal's worth of calories just from one packet. And that's pretty easy to do if you're sitting around having a snack, having some nibbles. So the calories are not so different on these two packets, and the carbohydrates, this one actually has more carbohydrates, probably because it has a higher content of rice and not so many fillers and other things in there. But you just really need to be careful of portion sizes. This one has a serving size of 25 grams, which is about 14 crackers, and there's 4 servings per pack. So if there's 4 rows in here, one whole row would be a serving on here, yet with these ones, less than a row is a serving. So it's just educating yourself about, because you might look at it and think, oh, only 100 calories per serving, great. But if you end up eating 3 servings, that's actually 300 calories that you're getting, and then you've got to triple the carbohydrates. So this one has 21 grams of carbs. You've got to triple that. If you have 3 servings, you're having like 63 grams of carbohydrate, which if you're trying to lose weight, for a lady, unless you're super physically active, is probably going to be, over the course of your day, too much carbohydrate for you when you're on a weight loss program. So that's it for today, guys. I'm going to give you more tips and I'm going to help you make better choices when you're doing your shopping, and I hope you find it really useful. Have an awesome day.